I want you to meet John. He is in his 30s, works full-time and has a family. Once the kids goes to bed, John plays guitar. Over the years, John managed to collect some amazing gear, but deep down still feels like he's not getting any better on the guitar, no matter how much time he puts in. Why? Because like many of us, he was winging it. Noodling here, a YouTube lesson there, no roadmap, no focus. So if you've been practicing guitar every single day and still not getting better, it's not your fault. You're not lazy. You're simply just following the wrong practice routine or probably don't even have one in the first place. How do I know it? Well, we take around 30 calls a week with guitarists who want to become members of modern guitar course that helps guitar players who are stuck to finally get their playing where they always wanted to be. And I kid you not, 95% of these players, when asked about their go-to practice routine, simply respond, I don't have one. So if by any chance that sounds like you as well, then you're in the right place, as in this training you'll learn the exact framework to transform your frustrating, unproductive practice sessions into a focused, result-driven routine that will finally help you to start moving the needle in areas of your playing you care about the most, even if 20 minutes is all that you've got. And for that, we'll be using an interactive guitar plan that I want you to download below this video. And once you have it downloaded or printed, we'll start by defining your why. Why are you even doing this? Not in a dark existential way, but in a real grounding way. Who are the guitarists that make you go, holy shit, that's exactly how I want to sound like? Is it Tosin Zabasi's songwriting, Jason Becker's sweeping, Petrucci's speed? Is it the ability to improvise freely in a jam like Guthrie Govan can do? You can also imagine you're watching a video of yourself. What will make you pause and say, damn, I'm actually proud of that? Is it the speed, the tone, the confidence, the creativity, the intricate riffs? As that will become your anchor to bring you back whenever you are tired, distracted or discouraged. Otherwise, if you're not clear on what you want to achieve, you don't have any aspiration and you're just doing it for fun, few hours over the weekend, then absolutely no need for a structure, as any practice will do. Take it from Alice in Wonderland when she asked the cat, yo, kitty cat, which way should I go? And to that the cat replies, well, that depends on where you want to get to. And Alice says, I actually don't care. Well, then it doesn't matter which way you go. So if guitar is a big part of who you are and you do want to grow, then figuring out your why is non-negotiable. So once you have it, then just write it down in the first section of your training plan. And you want to be ideally focusing on a maximum of 2 goals at a time. Whether that's shredding, improvising, writing your own music, improving phrasing or timing. Make sure these goals genuinely excite you and lead you to making actual music. Because being able to write your own riff, create a solo, jam with friends or improvise freely, that's what it's all about. Because if all you ever do is run exercises, you're just learning brushstrokes. But music is the painting. So make your goals exciting and musical, because when you're dead tired after work and life feels heavy, your why needs to be powerful enough to get you to pick up the guitar anyway. And speaking of life stuff, the next step is to work with your real life. Let's be honest, you're not 17 anymore with all day to practice. You're busy, you've got a job, a family, responsibilities. So stop designing practice sessions that requires a fantasy version of yourself. Instead, be honest about your time and commit to it daily, even if it's just 20 minutes a day, and protect it like it's a meeting with your boss. Because here is the truth, you'll never just find time lying around, you have to claim it. So set a 20-minute practice block in your calendar like a non-negotiable meeting. Do it before work, after dinner, or even during your lunch break if your job allows you to do that. So whatever the total of your time is, for now just split it in half. 10 minutes for theory and 10 minutes for technique, for example. I know you might be wondering if 20 minutes will even do anything. It certainly will if you know how to use it. If you compare yourself to John we talked about in the beginning, then John tries to practice 90 minutes, maybe once a week, and then beats himself up for the rest of the week when life gets in the way. You, on the other hand, just practice 20 minutes 7 times a week. Guess who's much further by the end of the month? Well, you. Because your brain learns better through repetition rather than marathon sessions. Plus, those 20 minutes a day adds up to 10 hours a month. But also the real magic runs deeper. Same as compound interest in finance, your small daily efforts start to multiply. Each day you practice, you're not just adding skills. You're stacking gains on top of the previous ones, building momentum, muscle memory, and confidence that grows exponentially. Now that you've got your why and you've carved out realistic, non-negotiable time to show up, let's make sure these 20 minutes aren't just noodling around. Let's make them count. Because showing up is half the battle, but what you do once you're there, that's what actually moves the needle. This is where we turn your practice time into targeted progress. So for this step, I want you to look at the 2 goals you wrote down in the step 1. It could be improve alternate picking, learn how to solo over chord changes, learn sweep picking, write your own riffs. Whatever they are, use them to reverse engineer your practice routine. So if you're working with just 20 minutes, I would skip the boring chromatic warm-up and instead spend the first 10 minutes on your theory-based goal that you'll be working on in a slow tempo anyway. So this serves as your warm-up. And you want to focus on fundamentals such as intervals, chords, pentatonic scales, and major scales. Whatever makes sense for your individual goal and approach it systematically, so you can progress gradually without missing out on anything important. Now, for your second goal, if it's more technique based, then try to find the related exercises and place them all in the same guitar profile so you can easily find them and just hit play without wasting the time trying to look through all of your files. This will also help you to learn more efficiently and make it easier to increase the tempo as you progress. This is something you'll have to figure out a little bit on your own, as normally I would do this part with my students after a deep dive into their playing history, strengths and blocks. So we can design something that's laser focused and completely customized to their unique situation. I'm sure you understand it's nearly impossible for me to give you specific advice that works for everyone without even talking to you first. So instead, start by using what you already know about your playing and reflect on what you struggle with the most. You can always watch some YouTube videos about the topic you're trying to improve. But be careful, it's easy to fall into that rabbit hole of endless video watching and wasting weeks jumping between all of the random advices you hear out there instead of actually practicing. So here's a tip: when looking for lessons, don't just look at whether that player achieved the results you want, but also make sure to check if they were able to help other players achieve those same results as well. Being a good player doesn't mean being a good teacher and vice versa. We all know those guitar speed lessons that goes like this. That's very simple. All you've got to do is and you're good to go. So for now, just do your best to stay aligned with your why and your goals, and then show up daily, because that alone puts you way ahead of most players. And to allow some fun time with the practice, you can try once a week replacing one of your practice days with a creation-only sessions. No drills, just write, record or jam. Let your creativity breathe and make practice something you look forward to. Now let's make sure that whatever you put on your plan actually works. Because if you're not tracking your progress, how will you know you're actually getting better? There is a simple piece of wisdom, and that is whatever gets tracked and measured gets improved. Just don't go now measuring everything in your life expecting better results. It doesn't work, okay? But the good news is with guitar it does. It's the same exact thing as you wouldn't go to the gym and lift weights without writing them down. Yet that's what most players are doing when they don't track their progress. That's why in the third step of your guitar plan, make sure to start filling up your progress on a daily basis. If you're working on a speed, write down the BPM. If you're practicing a lick, write down how you're doing with it and if you are progressing as planned. You can always record a little video to support your statement as well. Tracking gives you feedback loop. It builds motivation. You start to see, okay, last week I topped out at 110 BPM, now I'm relaxed at 120. That's why it's important to stay honest with yourself without pretending you practice for an hour when all it was really is 15 minutes of actual playing and 45 minutes of scrolling. Write down exactly what you did, how long you did it for, and at what tempo. This creates accountability and shows you exactly where you need to focus next. So if you keep showing up, tracking your progress and sticking to your plan, then it's time for something most guitarists skip entirely. And it's a huge reason they stay stuck. Having feedback is like having a mirror for your playing. It shows you if what you are doing is actually working. And only thanks to your dedicated practice and daily tracking inside of your guitar plan, you can now make an actually informed decision about your progress. You can also get feedback by reviewing your own recordings or from other guitarists on places like Reddit or Facebook groups. Just remember that not all advice comes from a genuine desire to help or experience from helping hundreds and hundreds of players all around the world to go from intermediate to advanced. Good feedback helps you to correct your course before bad habits become permanent, or before you spend years practicing without actually getting any better. Plus, having someone else review your progress can provide that extra push of accountability and motivation when you needed it the most. A professional coach doesn't just give you tabs or licks to learn, because frankly speaking, you don't need more tabs. You need a proper feedback. That's why we analyze your playing history, your struggles, your goals, so we can build you a path that's tailored to you. We adjust things in real time so you can go from not being able to play past memorized tabs to a real musician who can freely express themselves through their instrument. That's the difference between wandering in circles and walking straight line. So there you have it, 5 steps how to make your guitar practice finally effective. Define your why. Work with your real life, make every minute count, track and measure your progress, and feedback. These steps have helped hundreds of players just like you go from stuck and frustrated to confident and inspired. So if you're now wondering what to practice next as you're all ready, then you can check out either this playlist if you want to improve your theory, and this playlist if you want to improve your shredding. Thanks for being here and keep the guitar alive.